Imagine being in a classroom and trying to study with no lights on. How would you study? Imagine living with no means to food. How much would you eat? Now imagine being diagnosed with a fatal disease such as HIV and no means to treatment. How long would you live? This is a harsh reality for over 1 billion people. Extreme poverty is an ongoing issue in areas all over the world, and especially Africa. Now, we've all seen those commercials that come on and ask for your donations. And just like we do in the Sarah McLachlan commercial that comes on, we change the channel. But what we're not informed of is money donations alone are not the only way that we can help. The One Campaign is an international known nonprofit organization that fights against extreme poverty using only your voice and your signature. That's what interested me, is that I'm not being badgered for money. They simply want my voice. They simply want me to sign a petition stating changes needed to be made. Now, it may come as a shock to you that 7 out of 10 people in sub-Saharan Africa live with no electricity. This includes major businesses as well. Could you imagine pulling up to the emergency room at night? None of the lights are on because the hospital is closed, because they have no electricity. Many patients are suffering because of the lack of electricity. They lack the treatment they need to survive. And many mothers are birthing their children in the dark. You know, electricity alone would increase the child and maternal mortality rate tremendously. The One Campaign is asking Congress to pass a bill that will give over 50 million people electricity. The campaign's end goal is to ultimately have 100% of the population with electricity by 2030. The One Campaign also knows that having electricity will bring food to the table. Every year, the lack of nutrition claims over 2 million lives of the children in Africa. That's 1 in 3 children die. The reason that the lack of nutrition exists is because they don't have energy to produce the food that they need. 1 billion people in Africa live off of less than $1.25 per day. Could you imagine living off of $37.50 a month? The One Campaign's voices have decreased the number of people living off of less than $2 per day from 80 to 60% since 1980. And their investments in agriculture have saved over 30 million lives between 1970 and 1990. Having electricity would also provide a means of storage and treatment. Over 30 million people in this world are HIV positive. Only about half of those that are eligible for treatment actually receive it. In 2011 alone, 2.5 million people became infected, and of those, over 300,000 were children. The infections totaled to over 7,000 daily. Now, with the One Campaign, 6.2 million people that were diagnosed received treatment in 2011. And that's up tremendously from 55,000 in 2002. The child infections of HIV have decreased by 40% since 2002. I was so shocked at the One campaign. I had no idea and never would have dreamed that I could make a difference just by signing a petition. There's 3 million members of the One campaign and so many more signatures. Wouldn't you like to make a difference? The One campaign makes that happen.